Mr. Arroyo, how's jail? Fun?
I'll say.
So, February, you have a terroristic threat with us of a family or household member, and now you've picked up an evading arrest in a motor vehicle. While you're on bond for this case, you pick up a serious third-degree felony. What happened in a terroristic threat? The terroristic threat, in our case.
In our case, on February 3rd, 2025, an officer responded to a weapons disturbance at a residence in Houston, Texas. The officer met with a witness who said that her granddaughter's boyfriend, the defendant, was upstairs in the house with a gun. The witness said there were 5 other people in the residence, and everyone exited the residence except for the defendant. Officers met with the witness who said she had been dating the defendant for 3 years and broken up with him hours before, and the defendant left the residence. When the defendant wanted to retrieve some items, and the defendant said no. The defendant came back to the residence, and the complaining witness refused to let him in. Short time later, the defendant sent the complaining witness a picture of him inside her vehicle, pointing a handgun at her bedroom window. The complaining witness saw a laser through her bedroom window, which she knew was attached to a handgun that he owned. The defendant threatened to kick her door down and made forced entry into her home. The complaining witness still refused, and the defendant began hitting the windows around the house and screaming the complaining witness's name. The complaining witness called 911 and went inside a different bed.
Something out of a movie, like a horror movie.
The second witness, the uncle, let the defendant inside the residence because he was unaware of the break-in. The defendant went straight into his room. The officers tried to make contact with the defendant but were unsuccessful. The defendant was identified by a photo and date of birth.
So tell me what happened now in the news, please, in the evading.
Yes, Your Honor. On April 2nd, 2025, a law enforcement officer was dispatched to a vehicle in reference to a discharge of a firearm. While searching the neighborhood, the law enforcement officer made contact with the witness, who advised that the driver was Hispanic male with light bushy hair, and the vehicle had a plastic wrapping around the rear window with one limited tail lamp. The law enforcement officer continued to search the neighborhood and observed a vehicle that matched the description. The law enforcement officer made a U-turn and pursued the vehicle. As the law enforcement officer approached the vehicle, the driver accelerated speed and disregarded a stop sign.
Tell me they found a gun.
The law enforcement officer initiated lights and sirens to stop the vehicle. Failed to stop. Failed to stop. Accelerated speed and disregarded multiple stop signs for approximately 3 minutes, or around a mile and a half of roadway, reaching a speed of 63 miles an hour. There were multiple areas the defendant could safely stop, and the defendant stated he evaded because he believes he had an open warrant for family violence.
Was this in warrant status? Did we know?
If this wasn't warrant status, Your Honor, then
It was a 2B, Your Honor. It was a 2B that was filed. It wasn't a. So I think they're speaking about the terroristic threat family violence in our case, and it was filed as a 2B. He never was arrested on it or didn't.
You know, Mr. Arroyo, you need to think that in this world,